All right. Hi, everyone. This is Angelique, and I'm on my Angelique Chriselle. And I'm here, and I thought I would go live this time so we could talk about The Walking Dead and Fear of the Walking Dead. So I'm going to wait for a second, give folks time to get on. It was big on Sunday night. I was excited, but then at the end, whew, it was a lot going on. I'm just nervous for next season. And then I don't know if you guys stuck around to watch Fear the Walking Dead, but we'll talk about that too because it was a crossover event. So I'll wait for a second, see if anybody comes on. If not, I'll go straight into it, but I'm going to give folks a few seconds. I wanted to hit everybody before Blackish came on. It's supposed to be really good tonight. So I can't wait to see that. And then if you're an NCIS fan or CBS fan, then all the CBS shows come on tonight. Black Lightning comes on tonight. I gotta binge watch that. I am on, don't anybody spoil it for me because I'm on I'm on episode 5 or 6. So I know I got a ways to go. All right, we're just gonna wait a little bit, see if anybody jumps on. We'll see. If not, like I said, I'll keep it moving. All right. See if anybody joins us. All right. I know this is that time. This is like witching hour before all the 8 p.m. shows come on, so I might be catching folks a little off guard, but I'm going to go ahead and get started. So this Sunday was the season finale of The Walking Dead, and I tell you what, they delivered on the season finale. I was happy about it. So, they started off the episode with Rick having a flashback of holding Carl's hand when he was like maybe 5 or 6. And they know just what to do at the beginning of the show. I'm like, oh no, they showing a scene with Rick and Carl. Is Rick gonna die? See, this is what happens when you watch Game of Thrones. You really don't know what's going to happen. And so you wonder if the other shows that you watch are going to start following this same lead. So you never get too comfortable with any character because you just never know. And we all know every season finale of The Walking Dead, somebody may be out of there. So we know last season it was Sasha. Yeah, Sasha left last season. And then the season before that it was, oh gosh, maybe the governor? It's been a while. It's been a while. So they start off with Rick and Carl, and Rick was having this flashback of him walking with Carl, and it was so sweet. They trying to tug at the heartstrings, and they succeeded. So then we get into it, Eugene get ready with these bullets, and Negan is getting everybody's just falling in line where they need to go, and he's so excited because he's the big guy. I'm so excited I made this plan that's gonna just mess Rick up because he's not gonna even expect it because he thinks his plan is just flawless and nothing could come between him and this excellent plan he came up with. So you could tell Negan's all excited. He sends a couple of guys to go to the setup spot. They don't know that it's a setup. And Negan is sending them to the slaughter. They don't know that, but they still go there. And so Eugene gives Negan a gun with the bullets in there that he made and says, I think you'll be pleased with it. You know how he talks. Oh, I can't stand Eugene. So we have somebody joining us. Comment and say hi. So Eugene gives Negan a gun. So he's, practicing on this t-shirt. They done made a t-shirt with Rick name on it, talking about this is Rick pretty much on this t-shirt, right? Which was hilarious to me because I'm like, you didn't pick anybody else out but Rick. I mean, Rick is the number one target. You got Daryl up there, you got, all these other folks, but he made it a point to put Rick's name on the t-shirt, which was funny to me. So Eugene's Giving the gun to Negan. Negan practices. The bullets work. He's all ecstatic. And then, of course, he's making sure Eugene is ready for all this. And are you sure? He's like, oh, yeah, I'm sure. Ooh, that Eugene. That Eugene get on my nerves. So they go, everybody's falling in line. Rick is falling in line. And so everybody was lining up. It was wartime. Everybody went to their spots. And I mean, they had the perfect plan. The perfect plan on both sides, really, if you think about it. So Negan's so proud of himself. So Negan, Eugene, and Gabriel in the backseat. Gabriel just sweating bullets because, he like, Lord, they get ready to kill all my friends. Is there anything I can do without dying? Is what Gabriel's thinking in his head. So they get in his car. And Gabriel's a trip. Even though he can halfway see, he jumps out the car. It does a turtle roll outside of the car. And of course, Negan and Eugene got to stop the car, and everybody got to stop to get Gabriel because, Negan's like, Gabriel can't get too far because, I don't want him going back and being the town crying and tell everybody my plan. So they got to get Gabriel. So Eugene's like, oh, I'll go get him. Blah, 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 blah. He just, that Eugene just getting on my nerves. So, of course, Gabriel can halfway see. And as he was walking, of course, a walker came up on him, and Eugene took him out, or somebody took him out. One of the other people from the Saviors took him out. And Eugene got a gun. Gabriel talked about, there's no time for you to run over. He said something to the extent. And then Negan came, and Negan was like, oh, no, did you think you were going to get away? You can have C. Blah, 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 blah. So they recaptured Gabriel. So Gabriel, of course, another plan that just failed. It was a fail. So then they're getting in the car because they're going to the spot. So while Rick and everybody is going to where we think they're going to the spot, they already set up a plan B. So Rick, Michonne, Daryl, Rosita, they all are going to the top of the hill. And what was crazy about the top of the hill, because hilltop, top of the hill. What was crazy is when they looked down, they were like, we never seen something so large. So I was like, is that another group? And what it turned out to be is it was a herd of walkers. They had never seen such a large group. So eventually, I don't know how that's going to affect them, but it could. And then, so Negan got Dwight. Oh, Dwight. I really don't want Dwight to die. Because he turned out to be all right, even though he shot, I forgot the young lady's name, the one that's on the crew. She shot her girlfriend in the eye with a bow and arrow, with Daryl's bow and arrow. And then he tortured poor Daryl. Remember the Easy Street song that he kept playing? Oh my goodness, that was horrible. So I really don't want Dwight to die because he really tried to turn himself around and try to help Rick and the group. So at this point, Dwight's tied up, Gabriel's been recaptured, and now Negan gets on this walkie-talkie. So he gets on the walkie-talkie and basically like, Negan talks too damn much. I'm sorry, cuz I apologize if anybody's offended, but by the damn or the hells I'm probably about to say. But Negan talks too damn much, and this is his problem. He just talks too damn much, and he was just yapping on this little walkie-talkie. And then come to find out, everybody had kind of separated, and the new guy that is part of the Saviors, he and I can't remember the other young lady. Is it Carla? What's her name? Carla? I don't know what her name is. God's just killing me. Well, anyway, it's not Rosita. It's the other young lady. The other young lady, she goes and she is on this other team with one of the Saviors, and they are like around Hilltop, and they've got guns, and they stay behind and they deal with that. And Negan got, what was so great about this is this plan of Negan's was almost going to work, but guess who saved the day? Not Gabriel, because he can't barely see. Eugene made bad bullets, and the bullets backfired. And everybody got blood and splattered and got, ricocheted. But I mean, it was a mess, but that's helped them to run up, Rick and them and Michonne and everybody to run up on Negan and everybody, and it was great. First of all, you scared for Eugene because you like Eugene getting ready to die because he done backstabbed Negan, so he's a rat. Gabriel's a rat. So in the midst of the guns backfiring, Gabriel comes and does a sucker punch to Negan, which was hilarious. He sucker punched Negan and then ran. It was great. It was great. It was great. The one person I think is Shauna. Are you on here, Shauna? Did you see the episode? Did you watch it? Because I'm just rehashing. If you already seen it, I don't want to go through the whole skit, but you know what I'm talking about. Gabriel was sucker. He sucker. Have to go watch this, and you're funny. Haven't changed a bit. Thanks, Shauna. Man, you gotta go see it. I'm not doing too much spoilers because it was so good. You want to see it again, so I hope I'm not spoiling too much for you. But man, it was great. It was great. And then Negan and Rick start fighting. And I'm thinking Negan's going to win this fight because he hits Rick with Lucille, which is this bat that's barbed wire. And I was like, oh man, Rick can't go out like this. And they're fighting under the same tree that a couple weeks ago you saw Rick sitting under a tree and he was bloody. You know what was happening. So, hey. So yeah, they basically Rick overpowered Negan, and in the struggle he slits Negan's throat. I wish I would have taken my reaction to it because I jumped up. I was like, yes, Rick, yes. But as Rick did that, he had second thoughts, and then he asked, I think his name is Shamir or Smear, to patch him up. And so you said no spoil it, haha, I just wanted to support you. Thank you. Thank you for supporting me. I appreciate it. But yeah, it's a good show, Shauna. I mean, it's slow in some spots and then it's good in some spots, and they're all over the place, and sometimes they stick to the comic books and sometimes they don't. So I have been reading and researching all the way up to this point because I'm like such a fan. And I don't read the comic books, so I was reading everybody's opinion. They were like, yeah, they're going to introduce a new group in the end. And then this person is not going to die. This person's probably going to die. They may change it up from the comic books. So it was all over the place. And I love when everything is just wrong. Everything I just read in research was wrong because they end up saving Negan. Well, that part was true. That stuck to the comic books. They saved Negan. And Maggie and Daryl are pissed. And this is going to be the problem next season, is because half of the crew is pissed off at Rick. And Rick and Michonne are trying to live up to Carl, which is Rick's son, try to live up to the expectation of what he wanted in his final days. So it's kind of like it's going to be an internal battle next season. On top of, they probably getting ready to introduce another group that they're going to have to fight. So it is going to be interesting. But just like true to life, people who plot and plan behind the scenes and be sneaky, it always backfires. So it's about to backfire on those folks who try to plot and plan. It's not going to happen. So it was really good. I'm looking forward to. Good when you can't really guess what's going on. I love stuff like I know it's the same thing with Game of Thrones. I mean, I could watch do you watch Game of Thrones, Shauna? Because that's unpredictable. Now it's really unpredictable. I guess if you read, Game of Thrones is based on a series of books. So up to last season, folks were pretty much caught up who read the books. And let me tell you, I got the books sitting up here. These books are about the size of a Bible each. There's 6 of them, and they're each the size of a Bible. So I have to do audiobook on that. But everybody was together as of last season, and they're so unpredictable. You just don't know. All you praying is don't let nothing happen to Jon Stark, and don't let nothing happen to Daenerys or Tyrion or I Riot. And that's the same with The Walking Dead. everybody's got their favorites, and so if one of them go, it's like I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna have to riot. But I have been meaning to catch up. Well, Shauna, I'm gonna tell you like this. Like I told my mom, is it on Netflix? I think so. I think so. Maybe not last season, but they may have the first couple of seasons. And if not, there's a way I think you could do it where you could order it by DVD and they'll send it to you and then you can watch it that way, which, you know, they probably done, Netflix has got it going on, so they probably done figured out a way to, so you can stream it. And if not, if you have cable, every year when Game of Thrones comes back on, they'll do a marathon of like straight seasons and you could catch up with it that way. That's what my mom does and my aunt, they do that because they don't have HBO. And so they just wait till the free service or the free view goes on. Hey, Renee. I said I was going live, Renee. I was just gonna do it. So, yeah, so Game of Thrones is really good. Yeah, if you could catch it, you'll be addicted, Shauna. You will be addicted. Trust me, it's like crack. Everybody who started watching it, Renee can attest to this. Once you start watching Game of Thrones, you get that first hit, it's a wrap. It's a straight wrap. And so for me, The Walking Dead was the same thing. Renee actually turned me on to The Walking Dead because I was like, I watched the first episode and it was kind of slow. And now that I know how the series is, I will, Renee. I just jumped on because I was like, I don't want to miss not doing a review. But next time I'll invite you. Yeah, so Renee turned me on to The Walking Dead and I binge watched 4 seasons. When I tell you, I was on the weekends in the bed like this. I was at work trying to sneak. I mean, I was trying to catch up and I was right there for season 5. And I haven't stopped watching ever since. I binge watch Game of Thrones the other. My friend keeps telling me to get cable so I can. Well, let me tell you, Shauna, don't be in a rush to get cable. Just be on the lookout for those free, when they do those free previews of HBO and Stars and all that, because they'll show entire seasons, so you don't have to get cable. Don't feel like you got to get cable. The only thing is you'll be probably a year behind. Unless you hook up with somebody that is DVRing it and you can watch it with them. But don't feel like you got to go through that extra expensive cable, because I'm trying to figure out how to cut the cable off right now and still do this and still talk about shows because it is expensive. It's expensive. So don't feel like you got to run out there and get cable. Don't do it. Don't do it. Just wait till they do the free previews. Cool, Renee. Thank you for inviting, folks. Thank you for inviting. So, yeah, The Walking Dead was excellent. Shauna, if you get a chance, Game of Thrones, I recommend that. There's so many cheaper options. There are Set TV. Renee, we're getting ready to do it. I told Perry no more. We got to do some cutbacks. So between Set TV, Hulu, and Netflix, we should be set. Yeah, Shauna. Don't do it, girl. Do not do it. It is not worth it. Do not do it. Do not do it. Right, Renee? So, yeah. That was The Walking Dead pretty much. It was really good. I'm looking forward to season 9. And they must have, as a side note, for those that do watch The Walking Dead, you know that Maggie's contract was being negotiated. So they must have worked it out, and they didn't really do like a press release to say she was coming back for season 9. They haven't done that yet. They might wait till the season is approaching. But now that they wrote the script the way they did for the season finale, they don't have a choice. Maggie got to come back. So whatever she asked for in that contract, she got. She's in there like swimwear. Exactly. I mean, she about to be the next Negan, the female Negan. I say torture his butt. I say Rick and Michonne, while Rick and Michonne turn away, I would be right there sticking sticks right in Negan while he in that cell or wherever they gonna keep him. I would just poke sticks at Negan. I would torture him just like he tortured me. I wouldn't feed him for like a week or 2 weeks. And I will pull a Game of Thrones. How they did the Bolton guy, Ramsay. You remember how they didn't feed those dogs for 7 days? And them dogs were released. Yeah, right in the throat. Right in the throat. Right in the throat. So yeah, that was, The Walking Dead was real good. I hope fans were satisfied because I thought it ended really well. And I'm curious to see who the next group is. If it's going to be Georgina and Thing 1 and Thing 2, or are they going to introduce, there's another group according to the comics that wear the skin of zombies, and they could be possibly introduced next season, but we don't know. They said supposedly in the comics they're worse than Negan and the Saviors. So if you can imagine anything worse than that, I don't know. So that was The Walking Dead. It was great. Fear the Walking Dead, they basically just set Morgan up to come in and meet the new cast members, because they didn't show any of the season cast members until the very end. So essentially Morgan he's walked, he's ran, he's taken cars, and he came from all the way from Virginia and made it to Texas. What I tell you, that's a long trip. But Morgan did. Between running and walking and driving different cars, he made it all the way from Virginia to Texas, which is impressive. And so I think what they're going to do, Renee, and anybody else who's watching Fear the Walking Dead, what I think they're going to do is they're going to show you how everything is up to date in flashbacks. So it's going to be a ton of flashbacks, I'm feeling like, this season. Because basically Morgan talks about how he was with this group in Virginia and he had to get away and he just needed to be by himself, and he did, he went into that whole scenario. So what they're going to do is it going to be flashback season on Fear the Walking Dead. And I kind of like the new characters. One is sort of like another, I won't say he's Rick. No one can be Rick. But I like that he's kind of, I don't want to say a softy, but you could tell he still believes in humanity. I think so too. I need to catch up. Yeah, you got time. The one thing I can say about Fear the Walking Dead is you got time to catch up on that, because they're going to start it up, and then like in June or so, or they're going to take another break, and they'll come right back on before The Walking Dead comes back on. They do it every year. So you got time. And like I said, the first episode was so slow. It was slow. It had a little action, but for the most part, again, you could wait. So I'm not going to get too deep in Fear the Walking Dead. Like I said, the whole episode was about Morgan transitioning and meeting new people, and not really wanting to talk about what happened back on The Walking Dead. So that was it. Yep. So Shauna stayed on. No, Renee, I think you're the sole person. Or is it Shauna? Who's left? Somebody still left. Somebody's still hanging on strong. I appreciate you. And I'm going to get better, but I just wanted to come on and do a quick review and talk about it, because it had been burning me up, and I didn't want to do a whole recording and then put it on YouTube and then wait around and tell people go see it, because by that time it's old news. We on to the next thing. Scandal comes on Thursday. It's the last episode of Scandal, so if you're into that, it's the last one. And I'm definitely going to do one for that, because I'm curious to see how Shonda Rhimes ends it. And dang, what are we going to do on Thursday nights at 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock without Scandal? It's going to be interesting. 8 years. You know what I did in 8 years? Got divorced, got remarried, had a baby, changed jobs. In 8 years, when I stop and think about it, it's like a lot has happened. I got laid off from one job, found another one, quit that one, moved to this one. I mean, a lot happens in 8 years. So when we talk about these shows and we start, fanning out and being supportive of them, it's because we invest time in them. We invest years and time, and we're all into it. Thank you, Shauna. Well, I hope you get an opportunity to watch Walking Dead, Game of Thrones, I'm going to do one on Power 2. I don't know if you watched that, but I'm going to do reviews on Power. And I'm going to probably do some movie reviews. I'll probably come back and do something for the Amy Schumer movie. I know you said you were jealous of me seeing it. So, wow, Amazing Me Too. Yay! Yeah, so I'll probably do something for Amy Schumer's movie because it's getting kind of downplayed because I tell you, everybody and their mother and their mother's mother is talking about Avengers Infinity War, and nothing can nothing can get past that. So I'll probably do one on Amy Schumer's movie so everyone can see that. All right, well, thank you for joining me. I think I've taken up enough of your time. I believe NCIS is on, and I'm gonna go watch that. I got problems. I need to read a book, right, Renee? I need to binge. Hope to so too. I need a binge on a lazy Sunday. Yeah, when it's raining and you don't feel like going out, and you got your sweatpants on and a t-shirt, and all you have in the house is some popcorn and some Kool-Aid, and just make it happen. Because that's usually what I do. Usually I do that, of course I got to be careful what I watch because, I got a toddler. So he wants to see things on the big screen TV. I'm like, nah, no, dude, you got a Kindle. Go watch it on here. So yeah, it comes out Friday. Yeah, it does. It comes out this Friday. It was really good, Shauna. I think women are really going to relate to this movie. I mean, have a good night. You too, Shauna. Thanks for joining me. Thanks, Renee. Thanks, everybody who joined.